Problems are a feature of life, not a bug. There will never come a time when you have no problems. What? Did you think that you would just wake up one day and you're going to cease having problems? Like completing a video game and leveling up to a map where there's nothing there. That is never going to happen. Your problems will change, sure, but having problems is going nowhere. Dealing with problems is the cost of doing business as a human. Whatever negativity is consuming your thoughts probably won't matter in 3 months' time. Learning comes from the edges. Change is uncomfortable, and it rarely happens without a lot of stress, and many of the periods of radical and important change in your life happen because of the severe challenges that you faced. Would you pay the price back then for the insights and developments that you have now? If so, have faith that whatever stresses that you're facing right now will lead to a greater version of you in the future. Stop taking things so seriously. No one is getting out of this game alive, literally. In 3 generations, no one will even remember your name. And if that doesn't give you liberation to just drop your fucking problems and find some joy, I don't know what will. Life is inherently ridiculous and guaranteed to end sooner or later. So you might as well enjoy the ride. Do you want to be right, or do you want to be loved? Often when we feel emotions like jealousy or frustration and anger, it's because we feel like a boundary has been crossed. That's actually the reason that anger exists evolutionarily at all. Before you have laws, you need a sense of right and wrong internally, so that if somebody crosses that, you can let them know with a sufficiently unhappy response to their transgression. And this crossing of boundary is exactly why these emotions arise. We feel like someone should have known that we would have felt this way if they did that thing, and they didn't. So we need to get them to realize their transgression. And in our less gracious moments, we hope to achieve this through mistreatment or passive aggression or mean comments or distancing. And in our more gracious moments, it's done through a calm and honest and open explanation of why something made us feel the way that it did, without accusing the other person of doing it on purpose. I think it's best to assume the best of others. We assume that our friend or partner didn't mean to make us upset, that the impact that their actions had on our psyche was done through ignorance, not negligence or malice. And maybe their behavior does warrant the silent treatment. Maybe we are righteous in our indignation. Maybe they should have known better. You may even be in the right for reacting this way. But do you want to be right, or do you want to be loved? Who can you sit in silence with and not feel like you need to fill it? Who do you have the least amount of filter around when you're with them? Those questions just superbly encourage this sort of frictionless version of you to flow out. And I think that's finding people that you can sit in silence with and you don't have filter around is just what a great heuristic for people that you should spend your time with. This is from Mark Manson, and it's why he hates being around negative people. Being an asshole is a weak person's idea of strength. Complaining is their connection. Never let yourself be held back by other people's fears. People criticize what they're afraid to do themselves because bold action reminds them of their own inaction. If you're afraid to be criticized, why do you care about the opinions of those who are too timid to do it themselves? If you are the criticizer, does tearing someone who has the courage you lack make you feel better? And they cause unvocalized, unmet expectations, which drive unnecessary tension and resentment in relationships. And there's that Neil Strauss quote of unspoken expectations are premeditated resentments. Stop trading things that matter for ones that don't. This is from James Clear. If you already live a comfortable life, then choosing to make more money but live a worse daily life is a bad trade. And yet we talk ourselves into it all the time. We take promotions that pay more but swallow our free time. We already have a successful business but break ourselves trying to make it even more successful. too much focus on wealth, not enough focus on lifestyle. And this is kind of goes back to the hidden and observable metrics thing that me and George Mack talk about, whereby the more observable and quantifiable and socially rewarded a particular metric is, the more acclaim that it gives you, the more status that it affords, the more that you're going to lean into that. And, quality of lifestyle, like real, what is the day-to-day existence of you like? How happy are you? How much spare time do you have to do the things that you care about? That is very hard to flex, and it's very hard to measure as